Now, what we all know about Henry VIII is his 6 wives. And we all know the mnemonic device: divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. But he and his wives were ever so much more interesting than that. In fact, the man who's one of the most famous kings of all time was never supposed to be king at all. Imagine that you are a young boy, the second son, the prince, who, unlike your older brother Arthur, the responsible one, who studies statecraft inside all day, studies foreign languages, and has the arranged marriage with Spain, you are the second son. You're not boring. You can go outside and hunt and dance and play games and have some education, but the fun education, getting some literature and studying with the other boys. You're raised to have the joyous life of court, not the responsible, dutiful, boring one of the future king. And your brother's future wife arrives, Catherine of Aragon, daughter of Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain, with several strong ties to the Holy Roman Emperor and the Pope, Catholic Church, who are all a bunch of fuddy-duddies who you want nothing to do with. I mean, the woman doesn't speak a word of English. She spends all day inside praying. Why would you want to have anything to do with her? I mean, she's nice enough, but she's for Arthur. You don't have to care about her. Until 6 months after they're married, and Arthur, who's always been sickly, dies, and your father has his backup son, his insurance policy, you, who will be king. And he certainly doesn't want to give up his alliance with Spain, so he declares the marriage invalid and marries you off to Catherine. Well, you must do your duty. You're the king now, after all, even if you're only 17. So, you have one major duty, and one only as king: to produce an heir, a son. Although it seems a good idea to have 2 at this point. And you and Catherine have 10 children, but only one lives, and that one is a girl. Now, you can have sons. You have one with one of your wenches, but he can never be king. So what can you do? This boring woman who you've wasted years of your life with, who you don't enjoy at all, who has such strong ties to the Pope and to Rome, who tell you what to do all of the time. Why would you want to have anything to do with her when there are beautiful, wonderful women in your own country who share your own ideas and passions in England, who could give you the son you need as king? And Anne Boleyn comes into your life and convinces you that she can give you that thing you need, that son. But all you have to do is break with the church and set aside Catherine. After all, you never wanted to marry her. She was your brother's wife, not yours. So you do. And Anne, quickly after you marry her, becomes pregnant and is coronated as the queen. And the whole of England is waiting anxiously for this child, who's a girl. You've made a mistake. Oh no. All of England knows that this was a mistake. They never liked her to begin with. Catherine was your right wife. And Anne, she loses her mind until she becomes pregnant again. Oh, and this one will be a boy. We all know this one will be a boy. But it dies. Oh, the son dies. And what are you to do now? All of England was depending upon you to have a son. You needed the son, and she can have no more children. Oh, it was a mistake, marrying Anne. Breaking with the church. Oh, what have you done? But you must do something. Catherine has died. You certainly can't take her back. So, when you hear rumors that Anne has been cheating on you, with her brother and is a witch, what can you do but have her beheaded? And your helpful friend, who knows very much so that you need that son, that Mary and Elizabeth are girls, and if you were to marry them off, their husbands would be king, not them. You need a son, so you find Jane Seymour, who's everything that Anne is not. She's not cunning, she's not overbearing, she is the sweet, demure woman that everyone wanted to be queen. And she becomes pregnant quickly after you get married. And she gives you that thing, the thing that you've wanted more than anything that you need for your country. She gives you that son. Oh, but she's sickly. Oh, and she dies 3 days after he's born. And he's sickly too. Oh, this future king, this prince must be protected. And as king, you must put aside your own grief and marry again, for your children need a mother, a good Protestant mother, as Mary is far too tied with her Catholic roots. And your 2 other children are far too young to live without a mother. So, rather than making your own choice to be loyal and dutiful to your country, you decide a diplomatic marriage with a Protestant, Anne of Cleves. You've seen this beautiful portrait of her, so surely she would be a good choice. You've heard nothing but that she has a sweet demeanor and would be a wonderful mother for the children. So you arrange it diplomatically, and she comes. And she's hideous. And you can't imagine having another son with this woman. But you are king, and you sign the marriage contract. You must marry her. So you do. But you don't enjoy her company. She is good motherly figure for the children, but you certainly couldn't have that second son that you need, that insurance policy, with her. So you arrange something with her. She can stay at court. She likes England much better anyway. But you will have your marriage annulled. You couldn't possibly stay married to this woman, no matter what the diplomacy. And Cleves and Anne are generally okay with that. So then you find someone much more attractive, someone who can definitely have children, someone quite young and pretty. And the Duke of Norfolk has the woman for you, his niece. She's very young and very pretty and very stupid. And you marry her and realize right away that that was a mistake. Because this young little teenage girl being married to this middle-aged man, even if he is the most powerful king in all of Europe, even if he has all the power over her and is her husband, she has no interest in him, only interested in court dalliances and younger men. And, as with Anne, quickly rumors swirl that she's cheating on you. And what can you do if she's potentially cheating on you? Any children she have aren't likely to be yours because she's repulsed by the old man. So you must have her killed too. You never really loved her anyway, and your kingdom needs that second son that she clearly was not going to provide, which was her only job as queen. So, this time you look for a much smarter and better wife, a well-educated one, who, as you're getting older, can help take care of you, and that other important detail, be a good mother to your children who've drifted apart through all the wives, all of those other wives and their mothers that they've lost. While Anne still helps look after the children need a real mother, and you need a new wife. So you find Catherine Parr, and she's everything that you could possibly need. She's a wonderful woman and a wonderful queen. A little overly Protestant, but maybe that's useful since you don't wish to be tied down by the Pope anyway. But you realize soon that you will never have that second son. You're far too sick. So you must do what you can with whatever life you have left. Ensure that Edward survives. Ensure that Mary doesn't take over and Catholicize your land again. And at your end of your life, you realize that you may have done the best for yourself, for your family, for your kingdom, for your God in separating from the powerful Catholic Church. But have you done the best for your children and for your wives? Henry VIII is a very interesting man. His story is very, very much more interesting even than these details. And remember, the most important part of history is the story.